It's time for a bit of Shakespeare. Free Shakespeare in the Park, to be exact. We're gonna take a look at the Free Shakespeare in the Park version of Much Ado About Nothing. This scene, if you know anything about this show, we have Beatrice, we have Benedict. They don't like each other, then they fall in love. That's the gist of that moment in the show. So this is Beatrice's friends, family, ribbing her for maybe she likes it, maybe she doesn't. And I just love twists on classic shows, Shakespeare, any of the classics. So this is obviously going to be a very modernized version of the show. So let's take a look at it, see how it translates.
Speak in the sick tune. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I'm exceeding ill. Hey ho. For a hawk, a horse, or a husband.
Something when you are going to put a twist, like a modern twist on a Shakespeare classic, you kind of gotta bring the tonality of the dialogue into the 21st century. At least I think you do, and that's what they do here. It sounds more everyday language that we understand, even though they are speaking in Shakespearean wording. If you put them in this setting and they speak exactly like you expect a Shakespearean actor to speak, it's a little bit out of place. So I enjoy the fresh take on it, and I feel like it makes audiences of the modern day pay more attention and maybe find a little more appreciation for Shakespeare and even understand what's going on a little bit better.
Or the letter that begins them all, H. By my troth, I'm sick. Well, get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm. Benedictus. Why, Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus. Moral? No. By my troth, I have no moral meaning. You may think, perchance, that I think that you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think.
And I'll point out, just because it's there, we've got some nice layering here, levels playing into this. I like that the main person ribbing Beatrice here is floating around her as she stays on this pivotal point in the chair. She's kind of swarming her like a hawk. It's a great way to just really dig into that whole finger pointing.
But I can, no indeed, I cannot think. If I were to think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet, Benedict was such another, and now is he become a man.
Something when we're playing into Shakespeare, no matter how we're staging it, is to remember that we want to keep the iambic pentameter of the dialogue, but remember that we still have to bring our own unique texturing. Especially playing into comedic moments like this. I love that pause where she's like, I da 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 da. Yet, it stays true to the way it was written, but brings its own comedic twist on it. And you can hear the audience's reaction. So even if they didn't understand the thing she said, just by the pacing of her voice, they know it was funny. And they feel it as funny. You know what I mean? Sure.
He swore he would never marry, and now, in despite his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not, yet methinks you look with your eyes as other women do. What pace is this that thy tongue keeps? Not a false gallant.
It's a short clip, but let's also talk about the other girls don't do as much in this scene, but they're active listeners, which is always key in keeping the full stage energized and interesting to look at and realistic. And I love how they kind of peel off behind the main girl poking fun at Beatrice. You just see them lean out behind her and give her a look. It's great for whoever is on that side of the audience. I don't know how much it appears straight on to people, but depending on the setup, it's a great little extra thing for people off to a certain side of the theater. What you have to keep in mind is no matter if you're in the round or in a proscenium, thrust, whatever, you have to consider all audience members, not just the people that are looking straight on to the scene, and keeping everybody engaged and giving everybody something. Yeah. So that was a really quick clip, but it's great to watch this kind of Shakespeare play out where it's done in an untraditional setting, which people have made their own tradition out of making it untraditional, because we can understand it more as modern performers. We can appreciate Shakespeare on a new level that has something to offer all of us at every stage, and it's always a timely kind of performance. So hopefully we'll have some more of these Shakespeare clips in here, but that's just a little something for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Here's the video ends and the work begins. Let's support each other.